Okay, Dom, how you going?
Yeah, really good. How are you, sir?
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. I can't believe they're out on the 97th yard.
Incredible, right? 400 plus miles, 400.02 or whatever it is they've done.
Yeah. And there's eight of them out there. So is this kind of what you expected? Like when we talked about it last time, were you kind of thinking that we might see eight runners this steep?
Yeah, to be honest, I could have seen, well, definitely, I thought there was going to be more than a handful that would still be going in towards like the 90s. Just, I think we mentioned on before, just the sheer caliber of the people there, even on a tough course.
Mm,
Um, but I think if you living through the amount of time that's passed, if you think watching it when it started, it's just incredible numbers, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, I reckon. Um, And I mean, looking at who's left and who's not left, there's definitely a few surprises who's not left, like Sam Harvey dropping, Keith Russell dropping. Were you watching it when Sam Harvey dropped?
No, I think I was getting ready for this morning, and actually, it was you that messaged me to say that he'd just dropped.
Yeah.
As I was brushing my teeth, I saw that. I went, "Oh no, can't believe it." I think I mean, to be fair, my wife loves this sort of stuff as well. But I'm just going, "Oh my god, Sam's gone. This person's gone."
Yeah.
It's just crazy on the group chats and speaking with everybody that's not normally even interested in running is going, "This is just insane what all these guys are doing."
Yeah. And I mean, now we're back on the day loop. We're actually able to get a good look at them and see not, I mean, you can get a general idea of how they're looking when they're leaving the starting corral, but now we're going to be able to get a good look at them for pretty much the whole yard and really see how they're traveling. It's going to be interesting to see how they go on the trail as well. And it looks like Phil's going all right. They're showing him right now. There was a period
Yeah,
of time a few hours ago where he was actually, it looks like he was in a bit of pain.
it's going to happen, right? 400 miles, you're going to have have a mile or two of pain.
Yeah, yeah.
But he looks all right at the moment. So he's moving quite well. Is that Harvey just in front of him as well? Seems to be moving pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, and Harvey was looking a little bit worse for wear before as well, but I reckon same with Dead Cow Gully. When the sun came out, he spread wings in the sun.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it was it exactly 24 hours ago that I think we spoke, didn't we? And Harvey just blitzed past Keith and everybody, didn't he? It's the first trail loop of the day. He thought, I think he did like an 8 minute mile at first, and then he did slow down quite a bit.
Yeah, and he was like yelling out and screaming as he went
Yeah.
into the forest and stuff. He hasn't doesn't look like he's doing that strategy this time. But they're definitely moving. I mean, I'm looking at them now, and they're not. They all look like they're going all right.
Guess a bit of adrenaline as well, right? Having just hit the 400, there's only so much time that can last for. But
Yeah,
yeah, so far it looks good. But I mean, we've all been out running where we've put on a front that we're doing all right when we're not, haven't we? So there's probably a bit of that.
it looks like another beautiful day there too. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
it
how it's
does.
supposed to be.
I've even sad enough. I've actually got the local weather on my iPhone as one of the destinations now. Let me have a
Oh,
look.
nice.
You know that's commitment to a race that you're not at. 14 degrees on a Celsius, man. If that, yeah, it's going to be like 20, 25. So it's going to be quite a warmish day there.
Yeah,
Bit of rain forecast for Monday if they're still going then.
right.
I want to avoid that.
So that Ehor Berries is looking good. He's leading the pack. Harvey Lewis second, Phil Gore not far behind in third. So, and they're all looking good entering the trail.
Yeah.
Um, who are you most surprised is still there?
I'm surprised any of them are still there, really, if you think of how incredible it is what they're doing. But I mean, obviously, there's a few that you would expect to be there.
Yeah,
I guess just from like a knowledge point, I mean, is it Bartosz, the Polish runner?
yeah,
But didn't know too much about him. I know obviously he was the like the Polish national record holder, and he's done in the 60s before. But this is quite a big step up. Step up. He's going to be about 50% over his previous best,
yeah. What
which is
was
just incredible.
Do you know what John Knoll's previous best was before this, off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, no.
I reckon he's smashing his PB. Did you mention to me that he came in with an injury concern?
Sorry, 74 yards his previous best was apparently.
Oh, okay.
So yes, quite high. And no, I think there was a rumor that he'd had a bit of an injury earlier on in the race itself, but obviously nothing too serious if if he's still going now.
Yeah, and Moren's looking good as well. I'll tell you what,
He always does.
Yeah. How good's the coverage been?
It's superb, isn't it? If you think back, I don't know if you watched it a few years ago, a couple of years ago, it was literally just a couple of cameras in the woods, maybe just by like a log, and it was just that was it. And this is proper drone footage, and cameramen follow them, following the final runner. It's been really good.
Yeah, the only thing missing is a commentator. It would be good if there was like a commentary team, don't you think?
Yeah, and just a couple of pundits sat in chairs just talking about it. They should get the mics on a mic to talk about that. That'd be funny.
Is it Stephen Cousins who did the Suffolk Backyard Ultra? He'd be perfect for it, wouldn't he?
He would be all over this. Yeah, the film I run, people. Yeah, that'd be some good coverage.
Yeah, well, that's a way that they can improve in a couple of years. Get a commentary team on, and then it would just absolutely be like perfect.
Yeah, you might have yourself another job there if you fancy that.
I would love it. I would love that. I am coordinating the live stream at Dead Cow Gully in April next year.
Oh, very nice.
So this has given me a few good ideas. I'm not sure if it's going to be quite as good as this, but I'm definitely getting a few good ideas.
So does that mean you won't be running, or?
Yeah, I won't be.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm not. I won't be running. I wouldn't have been running. It's actually on the 4th of May, but I wouldn't have gone up and ran. But yeah, I'm not going to knock back organising a live stream for it. I reckon that'll be awesome fun.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds really good. It's going to be you manning it the whole time, even if it goes on 100, or what's happening there?
Yeah, we haven't figured out the details, but I reckon I might be able to get a couple of helpers to help out for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you won't be short of offers.
Yeah. Is that Morishita? I'm glad he's doing well.
Yep, moving through now, yeah.
Because he's the dude who fell over last time and missed the time by 30 seconds.
Yeah, that was pretty heartbreaking. I think I mentioned that before when we spoke, that there's a couple of people I know in camp that said there was not a dry eye when he came back in after that. It was pretty emotional. That was it's like the high 80s, I think, wasn't it? Or maybe the low 80s, but
yeah.
It left Chris Roberts and Harvey left after that, wasn't it?
Tell you what, Very's just ran past that trail cam. He gave a smile and a wave. He's looking comfortable.
Yeah. It's comfortable until you're not.
I've noticed a few times on this live stream, like, when one of the runners comes back, like they go over, like they drop and they get their coin from Laz, and Laz asks them how they like likes the trail. And they'll say something about it, but it was tough usually. And he'll say, you need to go, if you want to practice on the trails, you need to go to the Netherlands. I've heard him say
I heard that.
I've heard him say it about 10 times. I still don't know, is he being serious or is it some kind of joke?
Don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, I've not been there for running purposes, but I would imagine the best place would be, North America, right? Around here, go to Frozen Head, something like that. It's probably going to help.
Yeah, because I thought the Netherlands was meant to be one of the flattest countries on Earth.
Okay. Well, it'll do well to be as flat as here.
Oh, really?
But, yeah.
And that's why they ride bikes, because there's no hills to go up.
Okay. Maybe that's the joke.
Yeah.
You'll have to have him back on after this to talk about it. It's funny you mentioned that. Did you see the interview with Oriel when he dropped this morning?
I saw most of it, yeah.
Yeah. So that, and he said, oh, he's going to go get a few hours sleep and then he's going to go back out for a run to get training again for 2 years' time. I can believe he will as well.
Yeah. He was in a pretty chirpy mood for someone who just run close to 90 hours.
Yeah, he did seem pretty, well, I would say he seemed pretty good in with it, other than the hallucinations he had of structures in the road that weren't there and children jumping up and down in front of him, which definitely weren't there when he was talking. But yeah, he's a bit of an animal. Like the way he could keep on going as he did for, I think, at least a day of no more than 5 minutes rest, just kept churning them out, 55, 56, 57.
Yeah.
Just got too much for him ultimately in the end.
It's so, I love watching him. I love watching him run. He's so, it's exciting watching him, the way he runs, and he is so consistently pushing the time and just spending 30 seconds in his chair, quick little pit stop, and then he's back out there again.
Yep, he doesn't need long to recover.
No.
I thought they were getting a bit ambitious on the footage here. 6K mark, 12 minutes in. No. That's just changed. There we go. It's literally just changed 1.6K, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a beautiful day. I tell you what, though. Oh, sorry, Dom.
I was going to say, they've been lucky with the weather. Doesn't look like there's been any rain there.
Yeah, it looks pretty, yeah, no rain at all. The hardest part for me to watch, and I reckon you'll agree with me, was Hendrick getting disqualified.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I didn't see it live as it happened, but saw the footage on the messages after that. And yeah, that's just heartbreaking stuff watching that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it happened while I was sleeping, actually. I couldn't believe it. But I wonder if he just ran the whole yard without the timing chip on his ankle and just ran it as normal. Like, is it part of the rules that he's got to wear the timing chip? Like, would have he got disqualified if he ran the whole yard without a timing chip? Or would have he got away with it, do you reckon?
I know, it's an interesting one because I had that conversation with Matt Parker, who's in the chat that we were speaking with, and he said, you know, there's nothing necessarily about the timing chip, I don't think, in the rules, but obviously you're supposed to be completely unaided and you're not allowed to go back and get anything when you start. So obviously, even going back to camp to get the chip, you're not able to do. But it's an interesting one. What would have happened if he'd got back to camp and said, look, I've done the yard, everyone knows I have.
Yeah.
Because it's been an interesting decision.
Yeah, because there's cameras everywhere.
Exactly. So you think, who knows? I think once you see the footage back and you see he go up to the two mics and you hear Mike Doby say, speak to Laz, you could tell by the tone it wasn't going to be good, unfortunately. Yeah. I won't claim to know him very well, Hendrick, but obviously he's ran a little bit with him in Suffolk and he's just one of the nicest guys. And you could see from, you know, the footage there, how sort of humble and nice he is. It's just a heartbreaking watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully he'll come back stronger, right? That's what I think.
If anything, this will give him, well, he seems motivated to come back stronger. He's already said he wants to come back in 2 years.
So yeah. Hopefully his numbers will be big enough to get on there.
Well, it's going to be hard. This next year, like in 2 years, it's going to be so much harder, isn't it? Because there'll be more countries involved in the satellite champs. There might even be 50, which will only leave 25 extra spots.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually going to even look now at what the totals were for 2021. That'd be interesting to see the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to escalate, but it's going to plateau at some point, isn't it? It has to. It can't just keep going up and up how it is.
I think that, yeah, I mean, look, I think going back to the Hendrick thing again, I think if he completed the loop without his timing chip, they would have just given him a time of 59 minutes and 59 seconds and he would have been able to continue.
Yeah, I could see that being the case, but I suppose you don't know, do you?
Yeah.
That's one for Laz.
Yeah. Poor dude. That Frank the Tank's an impressive runner. He's just going on and on. He was another dude who was cutting it fine with time about 24 hours ago and is still going.
That's the thing. You can't tell with times, can you? You look at some and think, oh, there's a bit of a wobble, but they just bounce right back.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. I mean, you can look at them and see they might look like they're struggling, but you don't know what they're thinking. Like they might be strong in the mind.
Yeah. And you never know as well that on that loop, they could have obviously just gone to the loo or something as well, right? You know, when you come the out and back, you go past the Portaloos, he could have easily, spent a couple of minutes in there, which kind of falsifies the time a little bit.
Yeah, I think that one of the questions I need to find out is if the runners are allowed to just like do a wee on the course.
I don't think so. I don't think so, particularly with the cameras, but I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to or not supposed to.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing it on the road loop, but maybe not on trails. But like, for example, at Dead Cow Gully, the whole course is a toilet. Like people can stop anywhere they like and just do a wee.
You got to be careful if you sleep on the course there, then you don't want to be doing that in the wrong place.
Yeah, so when we do the live stream at Dead Cow Gully on the next year, we might have to set up some guidelines about that. But I also heard Laz, he loves every single tree and every single rock in his backyard. So I think he definitely will.
That's
have a
no peeing in his garden, in his yard.
Here we go. So at this point, I reckon the runners aim to cross this checkpoint by the 20-minute mark. Do you feel the same way?
So it's 1.7 miles. Yeah, that sounds about right, particularly for the first one of the day. You're probably going to go a bit quicker, aren't you? Just, time-wise, the sunrise has just come up, first loop on the trail. There you go. Look at that. You've called it. 3 seconds later, first runner comes through.
Yeah. Geez, look, he is such a smooth mover, this guy. Look, it doesn't even look like he's trying.
Good smile on his face as he comes through as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's hard to tell by the camera angle, but it looks like this is a slight uphill section.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, that definitely is. Be interesting to see what that trail looked like before as well, how much it's been trodden.
Yeah.
In the last 4 and a bit days.
Yeah. Well, some of the run. Oh, there's Harvey Lewis. He's looking all right. Yeah, when some of the runners were walking the track the day before it started, they were taking a few photos and videos, and it just was covered in so much leaf litter. There was no trail at all, but it didn't take long for one to. Oh, look at Phil waving to the camera. He's in good spirits.
Oh, you must be a bit ahead of me.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he looks good and happy. And there you go, 20 minutes. Exactly, he was through it.
Perfect. And when they come back, I reckon it's that they try to come back with the 40-minute mark.
Yeah, it must do. That's pretty good time.
Yeah. So it was carnage yesterday when they were back out on the trail with all those runners with the sleep deprivation and stuff like that. Was it you who told me your wife was watching it and she said one of the runners looked like a zombie?
Yes, yeah. I think it was when they had just timed out. I can't remember who it was now. Might have been Yoshida. I'm not sure. Yeah, but basically, I think when they were done, they sort of shuffled back to camp, and it was very sort of zombie-like the way that they were just plodding back in. Bless them.
Did you see? Yeah. Looks like he's glad the sun's come back out.
Yeah, that boost will only last so long, though, right?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what happens when it gets to 100. If that is going to be enough for some of them to think, right, I've hit that. or if the motivation to do 2 more to tie the old record.
Yeah.
Well, current record for another few hours anyway.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. If all 8 of them make 102 yards, Sam Harvey will get dropped down to 9th spot on the all-time list. He's
That's
probably
crazy.
asleep. He might go to sleep. He'll drop out, go to sleep, and wake up, and he'll see himself in 9th spot.
That'll be a tough one to take. I saw his interview as well, where he said he's done with backyards for a little while, but that could just be, straight away he could be feeling. It didn't feel like he was loving the format too much by the end, but normally a night's sleep for me makes me think, you know what, I'll have another go again.
Yeah, well, look, he might wake up in the morning and not even remember doing that interview. Like,
very good point.
I don't know how much sleep he was good. He was like jumping at shadows on the road before he dropped. They went out. He was hopping around like at shadows, and my girlfriend says, "Oh, he's going to walk back." And I said, "There's no way he's going to walk back." And then 2 minutes later, he was back.
Yeah, she knows her stuff.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Well, yeah, you said about that. Was it Evo when he finished? He was talking, saying he didn't even remember like a lot of the previous day.
Yeah.
And then he sort of, his memory had almost completely gone. And then he was like, "Oh no, actually, I remember who you are. I know who you are."
Right.
It's quite scary, isn't it, to think the state that they could be in after this.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of got me thinking that like next time I do a backyard ultra, that's how I want to finish my race. I want to finish my race because I don't know where I am, what I'm doing. I'm lost. Rather than my legs are sore, I'm going to stop now kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I kind of know what you mean, yeah. I've hit the physical barrier before, but yeah, the mental barrier I definitely haven't surpassed yet.
Mm. Yeah, it looks like they're loving the trail again.
Moving along quite nicely.
Yeah. Did you see Harvey was bleeding quite a lot yesterday?
Sam Harvey?
No, Harvey Lewis, actually. It looked like he had a fall and he was bleeding because Sam Harvey was bleeding too. He had a blood.
Yeah, that's what I saw, his nose that you sent me, yeah. That's what I thought you meant. But no, I didn't see Harvey Lewis yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, look, he almost fell then. You're behind me, so we'll see.
Oh, yeah, there you go, yeah. You must get better coverage in Australia, a faster stream.
That photo bloke with the beard. Do you know what a beardo is? It's a beanie with a beard built in. But
right.
It took me about I was watching it. It took me about 6 hours till I actually realized it was a real beard. Every time I saw him, I thought, "Oh, that guy's wearing a beardo." And it actually really was his beard.
Which runner was that?
Fodor, Zelard Fodor.
Oh, Zelard. Oh, yes, yeah. That's a real beard.
Yeah.
He's a fun character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't quite do as well as I thought he would do. Actually, he definitely had more in him. I mean, he's still, I think high 20s, early 30s. I think he dropped.
He was 27, and I'm the same. I was surprised as well because I know he's a really strong runner. But I know he's done a lot of racing this year as well, so maybe his body's had enough. Who knows?
Yeah, we talk a lot of racing. What about Claire?
Yeah,
what she did 60, and I think she did a race the previous weekend. Which
I think it was.
I want to say she won, but like not a small warm up. Well, I suppose maybe 100 miles is a warm up for when you're going to do 250, but I think she had back-to-back race weekends. And then it's just jumped straight into this.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, 250 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see. I don't know how marathon runners never do that. They run 42 Ks, but we've got like ultra marathon runners running like back-to-back 100 milers and 200 milers, and I guess it's just the intensity is different, and that's why they can do it.
It must be, yeah. I remember when I very first started running, people were saying you'd do 2, maybe 3 marathons a year, and then you maybe get to the stage for a little while where you're doing an ultra marathon every month. But then obviously you're not going out doing 3-hour marathons, are you?
Yeah.
That sort of pace for an ultra.
Yeah.
Well, most of us aren't anyway. But I'm even here just looking actually at Claire's times. It's just insane how consistent she was and how little recovery time she had.
Yeah, she was like that pretty much the whole time, wasn't she?
Yeah. So her fastest loop, 52.
Right.
Yeah, there was at some point, I can't remember exactly when it was, but I was speaking with Keith's crew, and his pace compared to Claire's, they're on the same yard, obviously, while Claire, both of them were still going. And Keith had 12 hours extra rest on top of Claire.
12 hours.
12 hours, yeah. I can't remember exactly what point this was, but that's just incredible, right?
Yeah.
So even now, actually, there's 10 hours difference between, 12 hours difference at the moment, actually, between Frank and Phil.
Wow.
So Phil's had 12 hours less time on feet than Frank.
Yeah. I think Claire definitely won a few fans at this event. Like, I think she's one of the fan favourites now.
Yeah, that's last female standing.
Yep. And I know you're close to Keith's crew. Have you got any news there with any updates? It seems like he's in pretty good spirits. I interviewed him just before we started this conversation.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I know he's there at the moment.
Yeah,
he seems in pretty good spirits, but that's it. I haven't had too much there. I think maybe she's trying to get catch up on some sleep.
Right, fair enough.
I haven't been awake crewing him through the last sort of 4 days or so.
One of the things I was wondering is with Keith and Matt Blackburn, they both performed. I mean, they both performed well, but not as well as we expected. And I'm wondering if it's because it's both of them. It had been quite a long time since their last backyard ultra before this, and I wonder if that might have something to do with it. Just it's such a long time. Because most of
possibly
nearly everyone in this race this is at least their second backyard ultra for the year, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, maybe we've just got high expectations as well. You know, we've seen what they've done before. That's another thing. If you look at it, it's still pretty incredible what they've done. It's just, we obviously know that they can go further, but sometimes it's just not your day, or you hit that wall a little sooner.
Yeah. And Keith Russell in particular looked so strong. When he dropped, it was a real surprise.
It was just that consistency, wasn't it? The consistent paces that he had coming in, which was actually a worry I think I spoke with my wife about when I said it's just what happens, you know, if you have one or two that drop out of your consistent pattern, how would that work? But he obviously just ran out of energy, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what he said. Energy was the key word. He couldn't run up hills. He couldn't run by the sound of things towards the end. Yeah, no more energy. Jen Russo was fun to watch as well, wasn't she? Did you see her?
Yeah. It's the way she battled it out, with not long left to go.
Yeah. And it looked like she was feeling it for a long time as well.
I think she's got a bit of experience with, you know, sucking it up quite a lot and just persisting through until there's literally nothing left. And even then, normally still doing a few more. Yeah.
Because, I mean, her PB is 74, but it was still an incredible performance with the 50 she made.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, looking at, she looked fine in the interview afters as well, right? She looked like she'd maybe just woken up. She just didn't look like somebody that had gone and run that far. Yeah.
Well, she was having issues with her breathing too. Like, did you see with the ventilator and stuff like that?
Yes, yeah.
Did you see the interview with Nima when he said that he reckons 300 hours is possible and will be done one day?
I didn't see it, but I heard about it. Yeah, that's a scary prospect, isn't it? Because what's that? That's going to be 9 days.
I think it's even more, isn't it? Maybe even 12.
Oh, no, of course it is. Terrible maths. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think it could happen?
Instinct would be no, because it sounds ridiculous, but you never know how things escalate, do you? I mean, I think there'd just be way too much damage to you, like mentally, by not getting enough sleep. I just can't see it.
Yeah.
There's too much serious damage. I mean, some of these are probably already at risk of some serious damage if they, go on for too much longer. I think it does have to level out at some point.
Even Phil, in his little interview, he was even talking about it, saying he wonders if everything's perfect and everything's working well, if there is a point where you can just go forever. I guess one day
No.
I guess
Well, I was going to say no. No, surely not. No.
But I do think that this is putting backyard ultras on the map. I reckon a lot of people will watch this coverage and want to do one now.
Which is great, isn't it? It'll encourage all sorts of different people. Like I think I mentioned to you, there's a few people I know that don't have any interest in running. Like we had some people over on Saturday night even and just had the YouTube stream on silent on the telly just to keep glimpsing. And they're like, what's this?
Yeah.
And you explain it. And some of them have been messaging me because one of them's Italian. It's like, oh, the Italian dude's still in. I was like, yeah, they'll be going a while yet. It's like, this is incredible. They've been going for 4.5 days.
Yeah.
Or 4 days.
Yeah. And they come up with their favorite runners and stuff like that. And yeah, it's good.
Yeah. That is really good. And yeah, it's just good that it's going to encourage more people to even test it out, right? Because you'll have some people that think, oh God, I'd never run a marathon. But in a format like this, it's a great way to, to kind of really challenge and push yourself.
I thought that post, Matty P posted on, is that his name, Matt P?
That's Matt Parker, guy I mentioned earlier,
yeah. He posted a really interesting post, and it's worth mentioning because he was talking about 72-hour races. They're not very common, but they do exist. And he was talking about how the record for a 72-hour race is Giannis Kouros, who is known as the greatest of all time. And I think it was something like 530 kilometers, something like that. But anyway, the point of his thing was if you include backyard ultras in that record, 72 hours in a backyard ultra actually gives you equal, was it 7th of all time or 9th of all time? 8th of all time.
I'm trying to find his message here. 8th of all time, yeah. If backyards are included in this ranking, every 72-hour plus backyarder would sit equal 8th.
In the world of all time.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's 8 of them here that have already done that. Well, yeah, and more. I wonder what it would be for a 96-hour racing. Maybe I'll ask him to update that. Yeah. Let's give him credit there. So he's a grumpy runner on his socials. If you want more content like that, he's a good lad.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Sports a good pair of trousers as well, if you've seen the video.
You don't have any contact with John Stocker or his crew or anything like that to see how he's going?
I haven't, no, not since the race started, no. I think he'll be he'll be disappointed. You could tell by his interview, he'll be disappointed there. I think the expectations of him are so high, and he knows what he's done before, and he knows what he's capable of. But I'm pretty sure he'll be back again to have another go at this.
Yeah, 100%. Did you see Justin? He finished the Oak Trail.
Oh, did he? Nice.
Yeah.
So first Canadian to ever do it.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. If he does it, he'll be the first, and he did it. So how good's that?
Congrats to him. That's amazing. That was 30-odd thousand feet of gain. 100 plus miles. No joke.
It looked like a pretty amazing race. Like, did you read the rules? Like,
I mentioned some, didn't he, before? Yeah.
You're like no crew, no ego, no toilet paper, all that kind of stuff.
All the essentials, no water.
Did you watch the? Were you watching at the period of time when the French dude Christophe Borde from France was going through a really tough time with his mental state?
Yes, yeah, because I think, I don't want to misspeak, but I'm pretty sure it was him at some point that it was Oriel kind of spoke to the crew, didn't they, and say, I had to grab him because he didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he still did another day or so after that.
Yeah.
It was quite a long, when I saw him a little while later, I thought, oh my God, he's still going and he looks fine. Maybe he got some sleep in.
Yeah, well, his crew, like, they were giving him a real serious talking to like get him to like focus and snap out of it. They even got him someone on the phone and was like showing him the phone, and someone
We're
going,
I saw that. See, that's the sort of footage that's really good, isn't it? I think, where they will sort of peer around, and obviously if people are happy with it, then it's obviously a good thing to see, sort of behind the scenes, so to speak. Gives people a good glimpse of what it's like in those moments.
And people don't expect, like when you say, come over and watch this race with me, like, what? I watch people running around. But they don't expect to see that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's really, really interesting, and really, it's entertaining for the viewer.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It's addictive. Like the whole format is just so addictive. I just know, like myself, I've got quite an addictive personality, hence why I think I like this so much. But people that will come to, like, the Suffolk backyard we've done, people that don't really have much interest in racing will come and watch it, and they'll literally stay all night without sleep, just watching and helping out.
Yeah.
I get suckered in. I'll just watch one more loop. Yeah. I'll just watch another one. Just watch another one.
Yeah, I reckon that's on my bucket list to do that one, Suffolk backyard.
Suffolk. Yeah, it's a really good one to do. Really nice trails, nice time of year, good bunch of people, nice flat course as well. Although it is the same loop the whole time, so there's no trail and road switch up at night, but it's not a very hazardous one to run at night.
Yeah, I mean,
there's Phil again waving at the camera.
I mean, most of them are just one loop. I mean, most of the runners in this race have probably only run in backyard ultras on one loop, and Biggs is the first one where it's on two.
Okay,
I reckon anyway.
I know there's a couple that do mix it up, and I think it's probably a good thing for the mindset, right? You have something different to look forward to. Yeah,
I mean, especially on this track. I mean, people were telling me like, oh, the Biggs track, it's pretty hard and stuff like this, and when you watch this, you realise that, like, if they did try and do it at night time, like, you'd have people getting lost and falling over, timing out.
Yeah.
It would be a slaughter fest.
I don't know if I misheard it, but I swear one of the guys did say to Laz, oh, you should have this course day and night. And it sounded like he said if that happened, nobody would do more than 36.
Yeah.
Which I thought, that doesn't sound right. And I even said that to the wife myself. And she was like, what about the Barclay then? I was like, yeah, good point.
Yeah, that was part of the conversation. They had a good conversation, Laz and Oriol.
Yes, they did actually. Yeah, I just thought, when I was watching it, I thought, let the poor guy sit down. But he was just happy standing there and chatting, wasn't he?
Oh, here we go, the 40-minute mark. Is that Frank the Tank? Yeah.
Just panned away. But yeah, I think a few guys. Oh, there we go. 3 miles.
I copped a bit of a ribbing saying on that podcast that we did last time that Phil Gore's on the same league as Michael Jordan.
I think I even messaged you afterwards about that. But hey, it's good that people in this sport are being recognised in the same way by somebody.
Because there's a shoe brand called Tarkine in Australia, and they sponsor Phil Gore, and people are messaging me saying, oh, they'll bring out a shoe called Air air gauze.
Egor.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I'd get some of those.
Yeah.
I mean, he could, if he does, well, he's already a part way to doing it again here. Be the
Well,
first to ever do 100 twice. Well,
yeah.
Marin.
Yeah. Well, he'll be the first. Oh no, he won't. I was going to say he'll be the first one to break the world record twice, but Marin's done it twice as well. So, do you think that? I mean, I might be imagining it, but it feels like this is a pretty. It feels to me like everyone's watching this. But do you think that the winner of this will kind of like set them up with endorsements and running endorsements and stuff like that, and like they might be able to quit their day job and just be a professional runner?
I mean, you never know how it's going to propel them. I don't know what the numbers are like. I think they do show on the stream, don't they? How many people are watching?
Yeah,
there's 1,800 people watching it at the moment.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's more every time it started at about 300, and now it's all the way up to 1,800. So it's definitely getting more, and people can watch the replays too. I saw one of them has like over 10,000. So, which is pretty good.
I think there's definitely a chance if you look back. I think a couple of years ago when Courtney was doing it, I think she was still. I want to say she was a teacher. I think she was still doing that while running.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure she's not doing that now. I mean, obviously she's gone up to do more than backyards and it's not really her thing anymore. But I'm pretty sure she's, a solely paid athlete and isn't doing a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
I think somebody like, Phil and some of these people, if they've got the character, then, the bit of story behind them, they can build a brand behind them. It's definitely possible.
Yeah. I reckon, Harvey Lewis is a great personality, and I was surprised when I heard that he still works. I thought he would be professional.
Is he a run commuter, isn't he? I think he does his run to and from. I think doesn't he work at school as well? Yeah. Maybe I was getting the Courtney story confused with him. Right. I swear Courtney might have been a teacher as well.
Yeah. All right. So we'll probably see a few runners coming back into camp soon. I think Phil's winning. I mean, Phil's in the lead. And actually, I think Ihor Veris is.
I think that'll be in their mind on the 103rd yard, the first one to cross the line. They'll hold the world record solo for a matter of seconds or minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when they hit 100. Their crew will be telling them that one more, you're 2 away from the world record. Keep going. Others will drop out now. They'll say others will drop out now. If you keep on going, you'll be top 5.
Yeah, a lot of them have a mentality of they want top 5, so they just want that number 1.
Yeah.
It will certainly be interesting. Nobody's dropped since Sam, and that seems a while ago now. I wonder if all 8 will make it.
Yeah, I still can't believe Sam dropped. I mean, it was obviously a mental thing rather than a physical thing. And maybe, I don't know, I'm not a mind reader, but it could have been a lot of things. But even just running it's the first, I mean, he ran at the Masters and did 101 yards with Phil and Harvey Lewis, but this is a different kettle of fish. Like, I mean, he's got 8 other runners who are all looking really good, who are all looking like they're going to reach 100. And he might have just cracked. I mean, he is young. He is a young dude. So I remember the first time I saw him, I thought he was like I thought he was the coolest looking guy.
It's that mustache, isn't it?
Yeah, the mustache. Running with no top on and his earphones in. He's a cool looking dude, and he's got a cool. I reckon he has everything. He's got all the attributes that could make him like a breakout star, like Courtney Dauwalter. And
yeah, he's kind of got brandability, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got the X factor. That Polish dude, he's just going about his business, isn't he?
Yeah, every time I see him, he just looks completely fine. Like he's
Yeah.
just on a park run jog or something,
Yeah.
not that he's done whatever he's done at the various points to see him. As well, looking at actually the stats here, his fastest loop 13, he did in 32 minutes.
13.
Yeah, loop 13, 32:42.
Right. I saw that one of the runners actually broke the course record. I think it was the Latvian runner. I think he did it in 32 minutes as well, but it must have been a little bit faster.
That's something from Finland, 30:48.
Oh, right.
Would
Was
that have
that
been it? Maybe.
it? I saw Ryan Crawford, the Australian, had to when he dropped it was because he had blood in his wee. Did you hear that?
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Um, has that ever happened to you before?
No, fortunately. No, I've not gone long enough for that. Thankfully. I
I
saw
remember.
the other guy with his feet, the feet issue. I saw
Oh
that the
yeah,
feet pic
yeah,
he put online. That was
yeah. James
not pleasant.
Blanton. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
So
one.
yeah, Ryan Crawford, who dropped at 30 because of the blood in his wee, he crewed for James Blanton after he dropped, and they're the two who ran the 60 together. So
Oh yeah, and they stopped together. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and that's
Oh
how
cool.
James got his spot on at Biggs. But yeah, like his feet didn't look too
No,
crushed, did they?
no, didn't look the freshest.
So what do you reckon? Do you reckon they'll go for another 24 hours?
It's a fool's game trying to make a prediction at this stage, isn't it? But
Yeah.
we'll try. That's going to be. I think it will get to nightfall, definitely again. But it just how that takes its toll when you're going into a fifth night. I think it's a tall ask for them to be still going in 24 hours time. You could argue if it's going to happen, it's going to be in a situation like this where there's still 8 of them going.
Yeah,
Like you said with Sam before, that could have been in his head why he dropped because there's still 8 of them. I think, like I mentioned with yourself before, when it was the world record was broken over here, 81 yards. It was Matt and John that were together for, I think it's from loop 37 through to 81. It was just the two of them.
yeah,
Obviously, I think it's a lot tougher to do in that scenario because you've only got each other and nothing else the whole rest of the time.
yeah,
Whereas here, you kind of, you can run behind someone else, staring at their feet for a while, zoning out. It does help.
yeah, yeah. Especially on the day loop, and on the night loop as well. You just run next to someone and you can talk. You don't even have to talk. It just gives you that extra bit of comfort sometimes. Running shoulder to shoulder with someone.
I've done it before. Just you'd run side by side with someone like that at night. You don't even have to say anything, but just you're going through the motions. It's a bit more mechanical and methodical doing it with somebody else.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't like predicting who's going to drop next, so I'm not going to try or do it. But they all look strong. They all look strong. I just, even if I had to bet on who's going to drop next, I wouldn't know who to bet on.
No, I'm just looking down the list myself here, thinking who's the most likely, and based on what we've seen recently, and I just can't call it.
I was going to say John Knoll, but I especially think whoever drops out of John Knoll and Harvey Lewis, it means that the other is going to have the American record. So that's going to push them both to keep going because they both want to get that American record.
Was that Harvey's 90 before?
Yeah.
Was that the previous? Yeah.
Yeah. Harvey looks like a different runner in this compared to Dead Cow Gully.
Oh yeah.
Like in that doco, you saw how he was at the end. He was
Oh, when he was in bed,
yeah.
being interviewed,
Yeah. So in this, he definitely would have gone into that with a bit of a sleep deficit, like traveling over from America. Whereas with this one, he just has to drive a few hours and he's there. So,
plus he's got the course knowledge as well that will help.
Yeah, yeah, and he's got his that Judd bloke, Judd Poindexter, I think his name is. That's his usual crew person, and he didn't come to Dead Cow Gully, and that probably made a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, little things do stack up, don't they?
Yeah. There's John Knoll. He just looks like a robot. He's so robotic, isn't he? He didn't even slow down when he went over those rocks. He's just
crazy. You've got your certain run points, haven't you? You have your certain walk and run points, and you kind of say, right, I need to carry on until this point.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is, like you mentioned before, it's going to be 25 degrees later today. It seems to me like their high temperature arrives later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I think they'll still have a few hours of cooler running weather. But 25 is pretty hot. Like, it will be tough. That will probably, like, I'll be surprised if they're going to do 120, but I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, like I say, I'll definitely go to nightfall. I'm sure of that. And it's just trying to get through another night. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Well, you just need, like you said, you only need 2 runners who just won't quit.
Yeah.
Just need 2.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. It's like an auction. Here comes Phil.
Maybe they'll all drop together. They'll all hit 103 and all 8 will decide to stop. As long as the camera goes straight onto Laz's face, if that happens.
I wonder if he's going to keep his 102 top on till he hits 102.
Do you think he's got 103 top ready made to pop on? And 104, 105. I think you said, didn't you, that he listened to your earlier podcast when he was out there. I wonder if, let him know about this one. He might listen to this as well when it's getting to that record.
Yeah. Well, he'll, I know Gemma, who's his crew, his wife and crew, she's on social media, so she'll see there's a new episode. Hopefully he's in the mood to listen to it.
You might have to listen to it twice. It might not stick in the memory too much after listening to it after 100 odd hours. Who knows? If they're still going tomorrow, you've got time to record and release another one to keep them going there.
Yeah.
And they're all in, aren't they, other than the Belgians?
Yeah, I saw Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank was walking up that spot. But as long as they reach that driveway with at least, with even 2 minutes to go, they're safe.
Well, there you go.
See, I love watching them how consistently they keep going when they're coming in so late. Because one thing with me is, like, I might consistently run 50-minute laps, and as soon as I run like a 55-minute lap, it will really affect me, like, mentally.
Oh yeah, 100% the same.
Yeah. But watching this, it's kind of taught me that not to let it get to my head now, because you just got to keep on grinding them out. I mean, and these guys, I mean, they are the best, but you just got to want to do it. You just got to want it, and you can do it, I reckon.
Definitely. It's actually a conversation I had yesterday. Was that the first time I broke 24 was I was pretty focused on doing between 45, 48-minute laps.
Yeah.
And I did that for the first 24 hours and was ecstatic about it. And the first time it dropped into the 50s, I lasted about another 3 yards, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think next time I do one, I'm going to practice with throwing the odd slower loop in there, just so I don't, mindset wise doesn't shift and think, oh no, it's all going downhill. But
Yeah.
no, you can shift it on, you can shift it up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Just like purposely putting a slower lap in there. Yeah. And I think Phil might have done that during the night because he ran a 56-minute loop.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Yeah. And people were like messaging me going, oh, geez, Phil's in trouble and stuff like that. And I think I heard him say he was feeling a stomach issue and his leg, which you can, his left leg is taped up. So I'm guessing that is the one that was hurting. So I must have been around then, because one thing I've been told is like when you're having issues, slow down, and it generally helps fix whatever the issue is.
Yeah, particularly if it's a physical one. Chances are, if you go faster, you're going to make it worse.
Yeah. Here comes Frank the Tank. See, he's walking and he's got less than 2.5 minutes.
Either he's not concerned or he knows this is it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you get 97 done, you've got to have that 100 in your mind, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
But then if you have 100 in your mind, you're getting 2 more to equal the world record as well.
Yeah.
Just keep tricking your mind.
Yeah.
Just one more.
It's pretty impressive, the people who crew these runners, that they keep on encouraging them to go out for one more loop, because surely they want to like have a rest and go home as well. You know what I mean?
If you're the crew, you don't want to be the reason that your runner stops, though, do you?
Yeah.
But I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah. So this is what Frankers looks like between every loop. Or he does look like he's struggling. Well, he's still eating, though. He's still eating solid. Yeah. We're trying to eat solid.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still smiling. He looks like he has lost some weight, actually, since the start of the race.
Few tumbles there as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of these have got it still logged as one activity for Strava. That'd be interesting.
I was thinking of questions to ask when I have whoever on the podcast, and like, how do they keep their watches charged? Because here they don't even have like charging stations or anything like that. You've got to bring everything yourself, like portable chargers and stuff like that.
Well, some of them might have generators. I know. So like Keith's crew, Annabelle, she borrowed some equipment from Sarah Moore, who's done this before, and her husband Andrew. They've got a proper kit out of everything, with a fridge as well and a freezer. So she had their kit, so I'm pretty sure they were well charged up. They've got a lot of power on the equipment there. I'm sure some of these will have the same.
Yeah, that reminds me. I've seen that you can. Oh, look, here we go.
That bell and that whistle getting some use this week.
Yeah. So 100 hours is 600 blows of the whistle.
I wonder if he's on his second whistle yet, or third.
Gee, it looks like a nice day.
Yeah, it's got to be such a motivator, isn't it, to sunrise like that and warmer temperatures.
When I
give it a few hours, they'll be looking forward to the night again.
Yeah, especially when it gets hot. But when I had Phil on the podcast after he won the Dead Cow Gully Masters, he said the sun helped, but it was like after 2 or 3 hours, that's when he really felt the difference. So it wasn't straight away. It actually took 1 or 2 hours for it to kick in. That Toby Gillenbring from Sweden, he was good.
They are 69.
Oh, I've got him down. It's 50. Oh yeah, 69. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing the Taipei 24-hour track race, representing Sweden in 4 weeks, and he said he would have kept going, but he hurt his foot. So he looks like if he comes back, he could be one to watch at Bigs next in 2 years' time, I reckon.
Yeah, hopefully recovers all right for that in 4 weeks' time.
Yeah. Well, hey, good, great to chat with you, Dom.
Yeah, good. Thanks for asking me on again. It's good.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I better let you get back to your day job. And
yeah, I suppose that's my lunch done.
Okay.
Back to work for a few hours and then plug into this again tonight.
Sounds good. Well, have a good day, and we'll chat. We'll chat soon. That's for 100% sure.
Most definitely so. I see Matt Parker's even just messaged to say he's working on the stats for 96-hour records. So,
oh really? Oh, cool.
There you go. You got some content for your next one.
Yeah.
Might be asking about 120 hours then as well.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Dom. Have a good one.
Nice one. Take it easy.
Yeah, see you, mate.
See ya. Bye.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, it would be awesome if you could share, comment, like, subscribe, all of that. If you've got any feedback, shoot me a message. Hope you have a great day. See ya.